is set to regulate valet parking across the state. House of Representatives considers inter-varsity centers as beneficiaries of TED Fund's financial support. On the foreign scene, President Cyril Ramaphosa describes white South Africans moving to United States as cowards. In sports, Nigerian track stars Favour Philly as Brome John Toby Amushon to compete at 2025 Atlanta City Games. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State Parking Authority, LASPA, has concluded plans to commence the regulation of valet parking services across the state in order to guarantee a smoother and safer Lagos environment and eliminate all forms of indiscriminate parking. This new initiative aims to standardize valet parking services operating within Lagos State, including operations conducted on public roads, curbside spaces, and private spaces. According to LASPA General Manager DBC Adelabu, under the new regulation, all valet parking service providers in Lagos are expected to be duly registered with the authority. Adelabu highlighted some of the registration requirements for interested companies' eligibility as valet service providers to include submission of a valid corporate affairs commission, registration document, proof of insurance coverage for customer vehicles, a list of employees with valid driver's licenses, as well as police background checks for all valet drivers. The LASPA General Manager stated that intending valet service providers must present approved operating site plans and comprehensive safety and traffic management plans. Adelabu noted that all valet service operators will be mandated to follow standardized operational procedures, which includes issuing receipts containing essential service details to customers, ensuring their attendants wear clearly identifiable uniforms, and restricting parking only to legally approved locations, while stressing that all valet staff are expected to have their LASPA permit and certifications from the Lagos State Drivers Institute, LASDRI. Adelabu assured that LASPA will conduct a regular inspection to monitor compliance. The Lagos State Law Reform Commission, LARECOM, has reaffirmed its commitment to transformative legal reform and institutional innovation with the successful hosting of a workshop titled Mindset for Transformational Changes, fulfilling the mission of the Lagos State Law Reform Commission. The workshop brought together all staff of the commission to explore new approaches to fulfilling its mandate under the Lagos State's government Themes Plus agenda, particularly the pillar on security and governance. Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Ahmed Oyenuga, in his opening remarks, emphasized that the success of any reform effort begins with the mindset of public officers. Oyenuga also urged the Commission to stay positive in reviewing obsolete laws and drafting new legislation to reflect structural changes within the state institutions. On her part, Executive Secretary of LARECOM, Oluyemisi Ogunlola, described the workshop as a defining moment in the Commission's journey towards delivering 21st century legal reform. She charged the staff to align their day-to-day work with the Commission's broader vision, emphasizing personal responsibility, institutional pride, and a performance-driven culture. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has disbursed 75,000 aid to 448,141 residents of the state, amounting to a total of 33.6 billion naira under a World Bank funded conditional cash transfer initiative aimed at financial empowerment. Lawal urged beneficiaries to invest the fund in a small-scale enterprise to foster economic self-reliance and reduce poverty. He explained that 279,534 individuals had met the eligibility criteria and would receive the funds immediately, while the remaining beneficiaries would be paid as soon as the verification process was completed. Lawal said the initiative targets the most vulnerable members of the society with a goal of promoting grassroots entrepreneurship and reducing reliance on government aid. Governor Lawal expressed appreciation to the federal government, development partners, and stakeholders, particularly the National Cash Transfer Office, for their collaboration and support in implementing the program. The disbursement carried out via debt cards was formally flagged off at a ceremony held at Shafet Local Government Secretariat. Now to the rest of the stories. The House of Representatives is considering the inclusion of intervarsity centers as beneficiaries of the financial assistance provided through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, for improved training and research. The House announced this as it passed for the second reading a bill seeking to include the centers sponsored by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu and 8 other lawmakers. The intervarsity centers include National Mathematical Center, Abuja, National Institute for Nigerian Languages, Abia State, Nigerian French Village, Badagry, Lagos State, and National Arabic Language Village, Ngala, Borno State. The lawmakers record that TET Fund was established under the Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act, number 16 of 2021, to provide supplementary support for the general development of public tertiary institutions across the Federation. The Nigeria police has denied allegations that one of 8 helicopters was used to supply food items to bandits in Kogi State, describing the claims as false, misleading, and aimed at discrediting its operations. A statement issued by the force public relations officer Muyiwa Adejobi clarified that the helicopter captured in a viral video was deployed for a legitimate security operation conducted on Saturday, May 10, in the Obajano axis of the state. Adejobi explained that the helicopter was used to provide aerial support and surveillance for the group troops engaged in the operation and not for any illicit delivery. He urged the public to disregard the unfounded and mischievous claims, warning that such misinformation undermines the sacrifices of security personnel risking their lives to protect citizens. Reaffirming its commitment to public safety, the police assured Nigerians of continued collaboration with relevant stakeholders to enhance national security. In foreign news now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on a group of 59 white South Africans who have moved to the United States to resettle cowards. The group of Afrikaners arrived in the U.S. after President Donald Trump granted them refugee status, saying they faced racial discrimination. Ramaphosa said those who wanted to leave were not happy with efforts to address the iniquities of the apartheid past, terming their relocation a sad moment for them. President Trump and his close ally, South Africa-born Elon Musk, have said there was a genocide of white farmers in South Africa, a claim that has been widely discredited. The U.S. has also accused the South African government of seizing land from white farmers without paying compensation. The South African leader said that he is set to meet Trump soon regarding the issue. In sport now, Nigerian track stars Favour Ofili and Esebrome have been listed to compete at the 2025 Atlanta City Games alongside world record holder Tobi Amushon, following the release of the updated star list for the street athletics event scheduled for Saturday, May 17 at Piedmont Park, Atlanta. The trio will be representing Nigeria in the event at the meet, which features some of the world's top athletes in a festival-style atmosphere aimed at bringing back track and field closer to the public. Amushon, who last competed at the Diamond League meet in Xiamen and Kiao, where she clocked 12.74 seconds and 12.66 seconds in the women's 100 meters hurdles, will aim to sharpen her form ahead of the summer championship. Ofili, fresh from the participation in the Miami Grand Slam track 100 meters and 200 meters, will line up the women's 150 meters race, where she faces a competitive field including Jamaica's Ashanti Moore and Britain's Daryl Nater. Multiple-time global medalist in the long jump, Brume is also set to make a second season appearance after making a debut at the 115 Drake Relays in late April. The Atlanta City Games is a competition held outside the traditional stadium setting, following fans' close-up access to world-class athletics. And that's it on the news at noon, but just before we go, use the walkway. We're available to avoid accident. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supported 3,673 buses with 1.156 billion naira and a plethora of interventions including grants, mentorship, business advisory and capacity building, as well as market access opportunities? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Parking Authority, LASPA, has concluded plans to commence the regulation of valid parking services across the state in order to guarantee a smoother and safer Lagos environment and eliminate all forms of indiscriminate parking. The House of Representatives is considering the inclusion of intervarsity centers as beneficiaries of the financial assistance provided through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, for improved training and research. We also told you that South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on a group of 59 white South Africans who have moved to the United States to resettle cowards. Finally, in sport, Nigerian track stars Taiwo Baruwa and Esebrome have been listed to compete at the 2025 Atlanta City Games alongside world record holder Tobi Amusan, following the release of the updated list for the street athletics event scheduled for Saturday, May 17 at Piedmont Park, Atlanta. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Coyote Mafalashiri. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Up next is Lunchtime Waka with Timitokwe, Boma Peterside, and MC Icewater.